Good 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 afternoon everybody. Good afternoon. I'm just going to explain something to you, okay? So you're at least aware. So, I was in a variety of relationships. So, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. So, just like see this, it says LG remote. I'm going to keep you in suspense to you women that used to be my former girlfriends. I don't really usually shave. See, I have a relative that's named Travis that I found out he got scammed. So he looks like me, but he's older. He's from the Gatchins relatives. So, to any of you guys that got scammed, I'm sorry. But I just want to explain something that Sabrina and Diana explained to me when, they were on social media and they work for big, Fortune 500 tech companies. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand something. Normal men that are successful in life, they don't use social media to find women. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. One minute. One minute. It's just my dog, ladies and gentlemen. So, the big thing I'm just going to explain, ladies and gentlemen, is in life, you know, even though I used to do hacking, means ethical hacking for NSA and all these NYPD, I used to do things with Verizon with remotes, universal remotes, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, I used to do stuff for the news. So I have a clear understanding. See, the company, I used to work under certain people in the tech community. So Steve Jobs, I used to work under. Somebody like Jeff Bezos, that it's his cousin, that doesn't do Amazon Web Service, but they do things that have to do with product testing. So I met a lot of these people like John Gita, Matt Gita, through college and etc. And I used to do stuff for Harvard University. Means I used to do work besides going to the university because I always liked to do certain things certain ways. But ladies and gentlemen, when you're an investigator, you see this? This is Kodak. I used to have a Canon camera. So I studied things that, see, John Gita is older than me. I ended up finding out through the DNA that we're related. We're like second or third cousin related. So that's something I want to explain in these posts. So I kept sending you guys, ladies and gentlemen, posts. Hold on a second. Just giving the dog a minute. You not yet. Not yet. Just talking to the dog. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't in business, you need to be careful what you say and what you do. But ladies and gentlemen, Kylie and Kendall are comedians. They think I could just go to the store and get things. And that just doesn't work like that, Kylie and Kendall, which I tried explaining to Kim. Kimberly, ladies and gentlemen, likes to make up names. Sorry, Kristen. Can't BS the FBI or the police department. And that's something I'm going to try and explain. There, in no way, shape, or form would I ever, under any circumstance, do anything inappropriate like hurt myself or make up stories. Let me repeat that. I would not. Come here. I would not, under any circumstance, make up a story whatsoever. And if I ever made up a story, I would have been indicted when I was a child. See, I'm going to explain, a neighbor across the street got me work when I was in the Teamsters Union at a high school. I had to go to private school because I got bullied in this district. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a very religious person. can't call me Lucifer because I'm not that person. You can't call me Khalil or whatever it is because those people are essentially somewhat related to me. I don't know how, but I know with DNA evidence by looking at a camera and doing, see, ladies and gentlemen, like this, it's a blood test. That's how they check for your bloodline. That's how they check in Ancestry.com. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Ladies and gentlemen, DNA evidence cannot lie. Don't go on Ancestry.com. That's number one. I would not ever recommend that place because the FBI is notorious for playing naive. No. Now, I'm going to leave you with this statement, ladies and gentlemen. Under no circumstances have I ever set up a Facebook account, nor a Instagram or and etc. WhatsApp, Telegram. I had to be told, in other words, even when I was a officer, even when I was in the fire department, that these accounts would just miraculously open up. And to the former girlfriends, like Mrs. Sanchez's relatives or her friends, do not make up a story about me, John. When I do these videos, it's to show you what happened in my life. Because like anybody else, Kimberly, you cannot lie to the police. Ivanka, you cannot lie to your father. And when you're in the Republican Party, which I was, you can't BS a police officer like a security officer or anyone, EMT, paramedic, a nurse. And when you go to Nassau University Medical Center and you play naive in work and you're doing drugs and they don't drug test you, like that person, Mrs. Ryan, and Mrs. Tain would even say, because I did meet their friends or relatives, or I did meet them at a younger age, or someone like that, you can't do drugs and go in and work because Amazon would fire you. See, I did do an internship with Amazon, but I didn't get paid is incorrect. They ended up telling me in workers' comp I was doing this for 5+ years with Jeff Bezos, and I was apparently Jeff Bezos' friend or relative, which is a comedy festival. So I hope this is helpful information to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, that like to do gift card scams or catfish or whatever you decide to call it. Just remember something, that your Lord God, Yahweh, the guy up there, he's going to smite you. Smite you means you're going to get prosecuted. He's going to discern. Not only will he punish you, he will discern you. He will teach you a lesson. Because you can't be living in a place called a prison. You can't, ladies and gentlemen, be tried in a court and then be accused of something you didn't do. If you committed a crime, yes, you have a right to an attorney, an accountant, etc. But the best option for you to do is to pray on it. What else can you do? If you commit a crime, like in that movie, because they based it on my life, which is hilarious, like Bruce Almighty. That happened to me in real life. Bruce Almighty, the movie, happened to me. Because God and I had to interact at some point. My old man, means my own grandfather, had to interact with me like that in that movie, The Devil's Advocate. In other words, those people are real, but they're not who you think they are. Yahweh is as black as this controller is. Joshua is mixed race, and Samael is a woman. And I had to meet them and interact. And I had to play naive with law when it comes to bills? No. So that's all I got to say. So I hope this provides you some information. And to you kids all out there, when you are on that roadblocks, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to contact your mommy and daddy and say, Mommy and Daddy, there's a person. His name's John. He needs to file a lawsuit. Means not you, not me, you. You need to call up a person called an attorney. I'm not going to mention his name. I mention him 95,000 times. His name's Joshua Christ. And he has a relative named Prophet Zechariah. That's my relative. Means it's my bloodline relative. And what you're going to do is you're going to say, Mommy, there is a person in the White House that needs to be spoken with. Because unless I was born yesterday, you cannot flee a thing called gift card crime where you're doing $1 million+. One of you guys in Congress and Senate must be comedians because AOC had certain objects, certain devices that you're not allowed to have in a place called a house. I don't know what she had, but she got traumatized. And she freaked out. She was in New York. She didn't even know who she was. Like a camera. That's vintage. Might as well have been Jacqueline Kennedy's specialized devices, if you know what I mean. And to you guys in Warehouse 13 that you like to just make up stories, congratulations. When God, who's up there, sees you BS my attorney, and I hope my attorney gets the message as well. When you BS my attorney and my accountant, and you give them a line of BS, well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You see this? Happy birthday to you. You're going to get indicted. They're going to indict you. Because if you are a Roblox kid and you're playing the game and somebody is using your voice like this, they will indict you. That's why I don't promote violence. I promote a thing called the policeman comes to your house. He provides you a warrant. You get arrested. You go into workers' comp court, not criminal court. You start telling the truth, Ivanka, just like you, Kimberly. And when you don't want to be honest, do not be surprised you start having accidents happen. And to you, President Trump, if you're going to be associated with the Antichrist, which is not me, I'm not the anti-person. If you're going to be associated with anyone that does magic or sorcery or whatever, then may the Lord God have mercy on your soul. Because I did post something. It's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. It's a joke when you be prestigious as a rabbi or a priest. That's all I got to say. Just remember something, ladies and gentlemen. There are 13 months in a year, and there are 8 days. It's in your holy scriptures. So, Mr. Kimmel, I hope you show your friend this post equivalent, Mr. Fallon. When I close my eyes and I think of a thing called Woodstock, which is a town up in New York, upstate, and I think about this bookstore and I stare at a person that's a very famous person and I say to him, oh, what a wonderful day it is, and he walks in the other direction, then I know why celebrities are the way they are. Because just like anything else, just like Jack Nicholson would say, or some famous celebrity would say, you're just a nobody. I'm going to repeat that to you, Mr. Fallon. You're just a nobody. When you make a deal with the devil, which I want to add with this happy birthday equivalent, Lord Death takes offense to that. Because what you're saying to your own relatives is not only do you not care about yourself, you don't even care about your own relatives. And when push comes to shove, I'm so sorry with this statement to you kids out there. That's not even right to your own relatives. Let me repeat that. That's not even right to your own relatives. You're insulting their memory by not even following your own faith. You're just saying to JC, means Joshua's father, I don't even care about you. And that's the truth. I hope this stings you like a bee, because I'm not a bee. I hope the hornet stings you and teaches you a lesson that in this plane of existence, there is one true God, one. And he has a family that is just as strong as your entire relatives combined. And you can't hold a candle to him. Take care, everybody. Have a pleasant and wonderful day. And to you kids, have a good day. Thank you.